Hello, hey everybody, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Successful Entrepreneurs. And today we really have someone who is extremely successful, right? And he built it from scratch within a very short period of time. And this is actually my good friend, my buddy from the Navy. His name is Jason Pei. Now, actually, Jason is a co-founder of Dynasty Group, and they actually have a lot of different F&B brands under them. But not only that, right? They actually went into corporate services. They went into what else? What else was that? They went to real estate. They went into accounting services. So actually, Jason, within a very short period of time, within 2 to 3 years, right? And he was able to really build an empire beyond F&B. And the interesting thing was also in the past few months, where a lot of us has actually been very much affected by the current crisis, right? Jason's business actually grew, right? And I think that is something very interesting. And there's definitely some areas where we can learn from my friend here, which is why actually today I got him onto the show. And I want him to share with us his journey, right? So that we will be able to learn so much from his experiences, his real life strategies, his real life tactics that we will be able to apply into our own businesses today. So guys, if you're watching this live right now, say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi. Let us know that you are here. And I know some of you are actually his business associate as well, right? I see Seth is online as well. So Seth, share this video out so that more people can hear, right? He's your partner, so you better share. You're obligated to share, okay? No choice, Sebastian. You have to do it. Okay? So guys, without further ado, let's give us a big hand to Jason. Yay! Or Jason hand really getting bigger. Okay, so bro, it's a bit strange for you to call you Jason because I used to call you by another name, but for tonight,
very formal.
very formal.
It's very strange to speak to you like in a formal way. Usually we like go like, hey bro, hobo.
All our English, everything come out already. But never mind, bro. Tonight, sorry, I mean Jason. We will be professional tonight. We will deliver as much value as possible to the audience who may be watching this. Because tonight we are streaming to several places. LinkedIn just told me that there was some issues, so we are actually streaming now on Facebook as well as YouTube, right? So there may be quite a few people who are watching either live or on the replay. So we want to provide as good value to you guys as possible. So we will be putting on our best front for everyone who is watching this tonight. So Mr. Jason, right? Mr. Pei, would you mind introducing yourself for those of us who may be unfamiliar with you?
Okay. Hi everyone. Okay, so I mean a bit of background lah. Me and Gavin, we go a long way. We used to be naval officers together. So I was in the Navy I'm a naval officer for about I think close to 10 years lah. Then I think Gavin left 1 year earlier than me. Then when I left in 2017, so I started my own business lah. I mean, I had a few multiple business. Then it didn't quite work well. So Dynasty Group was Dynasty Group came later. I started my first so-called successful F&B was in this brand called Thai Dynasty. So my first outlet was in Gem Shopping Center, level 5 Kofu. So it was really quite a risk in a way because we didn't know how well we would take off. But thank God we did quite well there, and then slowly. That first outlet was in 2018, April, 1st of April, in fact. And then 2 years on, I mean, now it's already two plus years already lah. So we have about 5 to 6 other F&B brands, and then total about 26 to 27 outlets in Singapore. Yeah, so that was. Then we also expanded to doing other things like real estate. We do some real estate consulting. We do co-living. I think that's quite a popular thing these days. Like I mean, living in Singapore is quite expensive, right? So those like other cities like Manhattan, New York, this co-living is it's been quite a big thing. Because cost of living is high, people cannot afford houses. So we went into co-living, and then we also provide like bookkeeping, your finance services, like your accounting, your bookkeeping, and so I think that's the gist about it lah. And then we also have been trying to do a bit into IT as well to provide corporate solutions to other people. And then I mean, in this current climate, it's more relevant lah. We need things to go digital, right? It's all about the digital smart city now. So that's roughly my background. I'm also a father of two daughters. If that's important to anyone, yeah, I think that's about it lah. A quick background.
Okay, so by the way, his daughter is very very cute, right? Olivia and Victoria. I thought she will be home today. I thought Jason will be home today, and then I wanted him to bring the kids on screen as well. But unfortunately, Jason actually went to his office just for the purpose of tonight's interview, guys. So he's extremely prepared to share as much as he can for everyone who is going to be tuning in. Okay, so any questions that you guys may have, anything that you all want to ask, please make use of this opportunity and reach out to this very busy businessman right here. Okay, ask him the questions that you want to ask. Okay, and hey, bro. So the first thing that I want to ask you is what you actually see on the screen right now, because you actually started out with F&B, but yet when you introduce yourself, you went into bookkeeping, you went into IT, you went into co-living, you went to so many different businesses. And one of the very conventional way that our mentors that teaches us is that, hey, focus on one first. Why do so many things? Right? You diversify so quickly, you are going to lose track. You're not going to focus and things. But yet you are able to handle this so well. So my question to you is, when did you know that you could actually handle so many different businesses, and how do you manage them? Yeah.
I think I get that quite a lot as well about people just tell me, I mean, if you are already very good, oh, that's my wife. People usually ask me like, you're already very good in the way you're doing well in F&B, right? Why not just carry on lah? But I think there's some wisdom to it as well lah. I mean, you're right that we should focus on one thing and then just keep on replicate, right? I mean that's all scaling is all about. You really know how to scale, you should just continue lah. But whatever is it, I mean, as a businessman, I think there's still one egg in the basket, So we also never know, like I mean, luckily for F&B, I mean, I can go into great lengths into this. Like, luckily in F&B, we did deliveries a long time ago. So when COVID hit, we were quite prepared, to handle all the deliveries, because we already on all the platforms. We didn't have to rush to get on board to Grab, Deliveroo, and Foodpanda. So I mean, that's F&B aside. But thankfully, we went quite deep into F&B already, and then we were confident that we know what we were doing. But F&B is still one business, So and we were very lucky that we went into. We were mostly in like coffee shops and food court, the more lower tier rent one. I mean, we can see that a lot of restaurants are suffering, because of the high rent and stuff like that. So we were actually lucky. So in fact, then that's why we also wanted to diversify into other business now. So actually for F&B, when we went into food court and everything, it was really lucky. I mean, if we went into restaurants and with the higher setup costs and everything, we could have gone burst lah. So we were in a way quite lucky when we first did our F&B. So we thought that we wanted to better diversify our portfolio. So that was how actually Dynasty Group then came, because we wanted to diversify the business portfolio. So then we went into co-living, and then into providing like accounting services. So I think indeed there are people wonder, how do I keep the focus? But I guess it's about having very good partners lah. So I'm quite thankful that I'm very thankful that I have very good partners. I mean, I met a lot of partners in my business journey lah. So some came, some go, some didn't gel quite well. I think business partners are like marriage, man. You need to find a good one. It's not easy. So I think, thank God, I found very good business partners, and we managed to help to watch each other's back lah. So like some of we manage the different we manage the different industry. Sometimes my partner does watch the F&B side more, then I will watch the real estate side more. So we help to increase capacity for one another as well. So yes, we do find that sometimes it's a bit overwhelming already. That's why we are now trying to expand our so-called HQ team to help us to manage. Yeah, but I think ultimately we do believe that we do believe that if you have done something well, you should really you know how to scale with it. You should focus on it, and then get your so-called first pot of gold first lah. So I mean, if we didn't went full all in into F&B, and then by the time when we diverse to other businesses, we probably have about 15 to 16 outlets before we done that. So it's not like we went to like 5-6 outlets. Then we started to think about other things, and then we lose focus. No, we actually went very, very deep into F&B. Then so my first brand was Thai Dynasty. We did Thai food, and then we opened like 6-7 outlets really. Then we started Western. Then we started like Mala, and then Nasi Lemak, and then and so on and so forth. Then we went on to almost 15-16 outlets before we were confident to know that our model was scalable, was replicable, we could repeat, and then success could be repeat again and again and again. Then we were comfortable to say, okay, let's think about what can we do, what other businesses can we do So that's something that my wife also nagged me about. Hey, you sure you just finally found your first pot of gold, you want to go and try again and some other thing? Well, so I mean, there's this itchy backside thing about entrepreneur. You got to try, man. And then for me, it's like if I don't try, I will definitely regret. So, and I thought that it's quite useful tool because in a way, I mean, I will share like kind of our group's vision. We kind of like also want to own our own ecosystem So I mean, we definitely the next thing we went to is to do finance services, accounting secretariat because that's exactly what we needed to do anyway, right? So we got a good hands-on and we also expanded our financial knowledge and our accounting knowledge. I go read up a lot, and we also realized the specific troubles that F&B owners, the accounting troubles and the financial headaches that F&B owners actually go through. So that's why we also thought that there was a synergy. So that's why we went into doing financial services, and we are trying to come out with IT solutions to help F&B owners so that they can do a more accurate accounting because actually if you for F&B owners, they will know every day. Actually, nowadays, if you're on board Grab Deliveroo, for people who don't know, every day the transaction come into your bank account. It's not like one item only, like every day they sum up the sales, or like every month then they give you the entire money. And imagine your bank account every transaction coming daily, So it is to your accountant or if you are a one store owner, then you'll be headache you got to consolidate and reconcile all your bank statements. It's a huge headache. So we are trying to we have developed some protocol already to help to reconcile this very, very quickly. Just need to export your bank statements, and then you run it into our program, and then they will do like an automatic bookkeeping. Yeah, so that's why we found that there were people also asked me next, hey, you go into accounting service, a lot of players, a lot of people providing secretarial service, bookkeeping, and accounting. That's why we are trying to just target the F&B owners, because we know their troubles. And to try to account for all these delivery transactions is such a pain in the ass, I tell you. So I think then that's how we diversify into Dynasty Group, and then we do. So co-living was another thing. Me and my partners, we had this passion for real estate for the longest time. So we love viewing properties and see how to value the property and stuff like that. And then we also were very well versed about the rental market and stuff like that. So there's something that we want to do, but real estate needed higher capital. So in the way, the F&B, the first port of gold, supported all this subsequently. So it ultimately is to diversify to many, many baskets. So, and then to try to survive like a pandemic just like this. So I hope that kind of answer your questions.
Well, I think it more than answer the question. For those of us who are watching this right now, we have close to 14, 15 of you. In fact, just now I think we hit 20 old people who are watching this. If you all find that whatever Jason has shared, right, make a lot of sense, can I just type awesome in the comment section below, right? In fact, we have someone who have a question later, so I will bring the question up as well. So I think it's very amazing because I thought that there's really many wisdom nuggets that Jason has dropped, even though he's just very casually sharing with you guys, right? And the first thing that I picked up was really about, we thought that, maybe Jason was just expanding, right? He was just mindlessly setting up new businesses here and there, left, right, center. But no, right? The whole thing was actually, he has a plan, right? He actually make sure that he is very entrenched into his own first business first. He knew it inside out. He's able to replicate it confidently. That is when he actually make that decision to then move on to other businesses, right? I think that's the first thing, right? Like what you say, right? 赚有第一桶金. Once you have your first pot of gold already, and you know you can replicate that first pot of gold, that's when you want to diversify to be able to then put the risk, spread out the risk, right? Spread the risk so that in case of anything that happened to that one business, you do have other things to fall back on. And I like the way Jason is thinking here, because the way he's thinking about his business is that he's thinking about an ecosystem, right? Guys, how many of you can touch your heart and say that when you think about solving issues at home or at work or anywhere else, you are thinking at such, macro level that Jason is thinking at right now, right? And he's able to actually look at the whole thing to say that, hey, these are things that I need anyway, right? If I am supposed to be outsourcing it anyway, why don't I maybe create a business out of it, be good at it, and not only it can solve my own business problem, I may in turn provide this to other people who could be facing this problem, but they can't find a better solution. Case in point is that bank statement thing, right? He already said, if you are one store owner and you're on Grab or Food Panda or Deliveroo or anything like that, the amount of transactions that can come in is so messy, right? But then imagine people like Jason, he has 26 different stores right now. Can you imagine how messy his accounts are going to be? And that is why yeah, and that's why he actually created this whole system, and now he has a solution that he can actually help other F&B owners, right? So if any of you who are in F&B and you're watching this right now and you have been facing this problem for the longest time, you know who to look for, okay? Dynasty Group. All right, I have no idea what their accounting services is called, but please link up with Jason and you guys can. Sorry, what is it called again?
It's called Dynasty Solutions.
Okay, then please go and look for Dynasty Solution. In fact, later I'm just going to put Jason's Facebook profile and link, and then you all can chit chat, and then I'm sure Jason will be able to provide you that solution himself. But the point is, I just thought that from the way that he thinks, the way he strategizes, to really be able to view it from such a macro level to say that, hey, why don't I build an ecosystem? Why don't I, discover solutions to other problems that people around me or people in my industry are facing, so that I can provide these solutions to them as well. And that's how he actually diversifies his business. And I thought that is gold for many of us. Many of us, when we think about expanding our businesses, we always think, it's about entering a new industries, it's about entering another business altogether. But if you look at how Jason does it, he look at his industry, he see what his industry is lacking, what problems can he solve within his established industry, and then he attacks them, right? And that's where he brought to where he is today, Dynasty Group. So that is an amazing growth story, and I thought that is a good lesson that all of us, right, who is watching this live or who is watching this later on the replay on Facebook or for YouTube or for LinkedIn, anywhere else, I think this is a golden lesson that all of us can take away from. So if you think that's awesome, that's really good, just type good in the comment section and let me know. Okay, so bro, someone actually asked a question, a lady named Gina. All right, so Gina actually had this question, and I just thought that it's actually quite relevant. In fact, later I have another one that I'm going to ask you as well. So Gina is actually asking this, right? He wanted to ask you, all right, so which are the three salient criteria that you look out for before you start a business? If not, then you'll walk away from that. Has that ever happened to you? Do you have a fixed criteria that you refer to?
That's quite a good question, but also a very broad one. So I think, wait, let me think. I think it depends on what opportunity and what business has been is placed in front of me lah. But I think in general, in general, I would like to think that okay, at least when I first entered into F&B, it's actually my partner who asked me to go into F&B, and then I was a bit skeptical. But then I was, and he said to me one thing: hey, everybody needs to eat. It's recession proof. So that was one thing that really struck me, and then it got me thinking. Like, it is true, but of course there are a lot of F&B people who fail, because of maybe location, marketing strategies, But the fundamental, baseline is that, hey, everybody do need to eat, right? Singapore, we are a foodie country, and the food business is a huge market as well. So I thought the first criteria was that whether this is it a recession-proof or evergreen industry, lah. So that is one thing that I would definitely look into. I'm quite, how do you say, it's like a typical Singaporean, one of the best of everything. So I know sometimes it's hard to meet all criteria, but I first try to find one that is probably resilient, an industry that is resilient, and then secondly, there's definitely a demand for it, and then the third, there's something that will actually help to provide convenience to people. I think this is something that it's a very, very simple approach, but I really thought it's quite useful, because it's just like what we do for our Dynasty solutions, the protocol program that we have actually done up already. That we have already some of our other F&B, clients who are interested to take this up, because it's really a headache to solve through all their lines of bank statements. So as long as provide convenience, I think people would take it up. So. And of course, sorry, maybe I'll just add one more that there is the most important one that I suddenly remember about it is about cash flow. So cash flow is a very huge word, but then a business that can have a more smooth cash flow, that means you are not always how do you say, the time that you owe your money, your creditors' money, for example, your suppliers, and you can get money in, out, and out fast, that would be the best, So I think cash flow is also very, very, actually very, very important, the cash flow of a certain business, If you're at the, like just now I talk about ecosystem, right? Actually, I also thought of wanting to, because since I am engaging somebody to do my accounting, and then it's not. There were so many trouble faced, so I tried to wobble up that industry myself and then do it myself, and then develop a solution and then do it better, Then on top, then I realized, okay, what else am I paying? I'm also paying suppliers, right? So I'm trying to ask myself, hey, can I also own the ecosystem? Go and now supply myself, So my finance service is like I'm paying myself to do accounting service, right? So I'm thinking about how to do the supply chain. I never thought of it, and I tried very hard to enter it. And that is one business that the cash flow is very, very bad, because people like me, which I'm a client of the suppliers, we have like credit terms, So there's a large chunk of cash flow stuck. So actually, that to me is one of the very key criteria as well. Once you got a large chunk of cash flow stuck, and then you cannot move, you cannot recuperate your money fast enough, then you might be in problem, and you need sufficient funding and a lot of funding to help you run your business. I hope I answered everything.
I think that's a great answer, though. I think really that's a great answer. Okay, so for Gina, if that answered your question, can you just type very good in the comment section so that we know that we answered your question? But I think this is amazing. I think Jason just provided with everybody who's watching this, right, a framework on how you can actually review any business opportunities right now. Because again, it's just about understanding the resilience, right? The RDC framework. I don't know, bro. I don't know. You can use this and create your own course already, right? The RDC framework with the bonus C called cash flow, right? You have to understand whether the business can actually go through periods like what we are going through right now, right? Where it's an evergreen kind of business, and if it's evergreen, everyone needs it all the time. You're not just aiming for trend. You know that you can do that business for a long time, right? But if you can do it for a long time already, but will people want it or not? I think that's demand, right? And then whenever you are helping people save time, right, you're gonna make money because time is one of the most valuable asset that any one of us can have. If like the hours like Jason is spending with us right now, this half an hour, this is half an hour of his life that he will never ever get back, okay, guys? And he's sharing it with every one of you. So for that, I'm very, very grateful. And you guys are learning such amazing stuff right now for you to review any business opportunity. So RDC, right? Resilience, demands, and convenience. Plus, it gives you a bonus C, which is cash flow. I think in all business, cash flow is so important. We don't want to walk into a business. This is something that I tell my clients and my coaches as well. You don't want to go in a business where you have to sink in huge amount of money upfront in the first place without even generating cash flow, because that's when you are going to get stuck. That's when you're going to go down the drain, right? So cash flow is king. I think in business we say that all the time. Cash flow is really king. I mean, in terms of marketing, I will always say data is king, but then in general, cash flow is very important for all business growth as well. But bro, I want to ask you something else as well, because I think I've been quite fortunate in a sense that I do know. I mean, we've been in some other things that maybe we should not discuss online, right? But I know of how you got started your first F&B business and how things didn't work out that well for your first store and things like that. I'm not sure if that's a story that can be shared online, but I think that kind of helped you set the stage on understanding why having a great partner is key to where you are today. And you actually mentioned that earlier as well in the earlier part of the interview, where you said that you're very blessed to have partners that that are watching your back, that compliments you, that are able to focus on different aspects of business from yourself. So many of us here, I believe, who are watching this or either watching later, we could have business partners, or we may actually end up finding a business partner in the future. So if you were to tell us today, right, what are your criteria, or what do you look for in a business partner before you would decide to work with him or her, right? What are the qualities that you're looking out for?
Wow, it's a very difficult question, man. It's a really, really very difficult question. But then it's really like marriage, man. So it's like, what do you look for in a wife? If you want to have a lasting business, someone that's trustworthy, and then with like no hidden agenda lah. So I mean, to actually name criteria, it is very, very tough. But I mean, for me, my current business partner, I mean, we have gone through shit together lah. We have failed business together. So I think that's already. And then we were like kind of like being conned by another third partner. So in the sense we have gone through it together and we have the kind of mutual trust lah. So I think that's how first of all how we establish trust lah. And I think one of the next other points that I see what makes it such a good working relationship, right, is that we had that kind of openness and transparency lah. We don't have. I mean, we are straight talkers, so we are very direct lah. When we don't agree to a certain thing, there's no point to have politics and backstab people and stuff like that. So we were just very, very, very direct. And then when our opinions and I mean we are able to agree to disagree lah. So I guess that was very, very important lah. I mean. We have to somehow find a way to establish the kind of trust and then have very open communication. So I think that's very, very important. So other than that, I think it really counts at your own judgment and a lot of luck as well. So I mean, you never know if the business partner down the road will start to be opportunistic or will be more greedy. I never know. I also cannot say that I will be the perfect business partner or my business partner are going to stick with me. I really don't know. So I'm just trying. I'm thankful. I'm grateful that I found my current partners, and then hopefully things can stay that way lah. But I think what I enjoyed most being with them is that we at least we have the same kind of frequency. We always have ideas. We all contribute actively. So and we really treat the business like our lifeline. because I mean, without the business, without the income, we have no money, right? So we really we are really committed, lah. So I guess that is also the third factor, one of the very very important factor, lah. First is to establish trust. Second is to open communication, and third is to the show of commitment. We really have to put down a lot. Like there were a lot of times where we're in the middle of maybe like one of us, like something happened during dinner, during dinner period. Most of us will probably be enjoying dinner with our family. Then some shit happened at the store. I mean, I get that all the time. You're like, boss, the boiler spoil. Boss, the wok no fire. The rice cooker spoil. Wow, GG. Wow. Then, and at that time when I didn't have the team with me. I mean, right now I have managers running for me. It was and we were small, right? So we had to do everything by ourselves. In fact, last time I did my own bookkeeping as well. So we do everything by ourselves. So when things happen, I mean, my wife, my family can fondly remember how many times I literally finish up my rice and just rush down wherever I am, go and buy one freaking rice cooker and go and replace. Because one day of sales for dinner is a lot. I mean, it matters a lot. 1 month or 30 days, and then there's only 30 dinners. And I mean, particularly for Thai food, dinner is like the prime period. How can we not have rice? And then, I mean, I think about all the customer complaints. I also will have a headache. So I want to solve it straight away. So I will just drop around everything and then just go. And I'm very thankful that my partners are also like the same type of people. They would really. And I know that I can really rely on them. So if anything happens, they will just drop down, just drop their tools, and then and thank God we all have very understanding family members, So and then we just go. So I think these are I think commitment. The last one is the most important one to look for in the business partner. I did have business partners that unfortunately got let go by us because of the sheer lack of commitment. So everybody got to play their part and commit to the business . So I think these are the three key criteria.
Okay, guys. I mean, for me, that is really a great lesson for me to learn myself as well, because I have had partners coming in and out of my lives. Not life partners, business partners. Right. I mean, just to clarify, I don't know if my wife is probably not watching, but I know Jason's wife was watching, so we have to be very careful what we say while we are going live. Okay. So I think the first one that you said, trust, right? Trust and open communication as well as commitment. And I feel that like what Jason had mentioned earlier, the last one was really key as well. If you have no commitment, yes, even I can trust you, I can give you communicate openly, but if you're not committed into a business, right? Especially I think at the stage where probably we are right now, I would say more for like myself, where I'm like I believe I'm still very much in the startup stage, where I'm still a solopreneur having a small team, not as established as what you have grown into as well. If I have no commitment to be working on my business every single day, right? I mean, I'm not sure about this. Right? Maybe I should ask this question to Jason as well. Ever since you become an entrepreneur, how many holidays have you had?
Holidays, the first year was hell. The first year was hell, but after that, when things started better, and like I said, thank God for partners, in the way, then I had a 4 days, 3 nights at Bangkok. That was my first holiday. Oh, it was in this January. Lucky before the pandemic started. I went to, it was my first holiday. Yeah, after almost close to 2 years in business, and the first year was hell. Second year was getting better, and then finally I told myself I need to get out, man. Yeah. And then my partners covered for me, Yeah.
And the thing is that when we say, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, and when we say that for the first 2 years, Jason didn't take any holidays, right? He's also working 365 days a year kind of thing. No, it's not like you work Monday to Friday, weekend off kind of thing. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's no annual leave or whatever for us, no public holiday, no nothing. It's hustle all the way, right? So guys, I think commitment is really very key for us who are at this stage of business, right? Where you are not yet having people managing in the business for you. But of course, I think the goal that we want ultimately one day in our businesses that you want to be finally working on the business than in the business, which what Jason is, pulling himself out gradually, as what we have heard from him. Right, previously he used to be doing bookkeeping on his own, but right now he has his team, he has people doing it for him. Last time he needs to be having dinner and be sending rice cookers on his own, but right now he has managers doing it for him. Right, so he's evolving into working on his business, and I think that's the stage where then I think you'll be able to enjoy a little bit more of the kind of freedom that we all enjoy. But you see, he worked very, very hard for the last 2 over years to be able to get to where he is today, and I think that is the key lessons that we need to understand and learn from Jason as well. It's about the grit, GRIT, not GRED, right? The grit,
Yeah.
I need to pronounce it correctly, and the determination and the perseverance and everything else, all the qualities that he has shown with us so far. And of course, in our partners as well, trust, open communication, and commitment. That commitment, again, I think is so key. I really cannot agree more with what Jason was sharing earlier.
I can tell you, I mean, I think it's that the last part is really such a key factor, because I mean people have been trying to. There are a lot of business opportunities out there, and then there are people who want to work with me as well. And then sometimes, I mean, they have great ideas, but I think an idea is great, but execution is everything. Yeah, execution and commitment is everything. If you have a great idea, but you're not willing to commit to it and see to the end to it, there is no point of having great ideas. We have a lot of people with a lot of great ideas, but nobody want to do it. So one of the key thing was, this is from my experience, I can't emphasize more. Like when you are trying to go into a partnership and trying to establish a good business, I mean, you to see whether this is a long-lasting business, and then when your partners start to tell you things like, they have personal appointments, and then they have like soccer to watch and stuff like that, and then you know that this person is not serious. Yeah, so I think commitment is really, you got to really treat it like a baby, man. I mean, for people who have kids will definitely understand. Treat it like a baby. You can nurture it. Your eyes on it 2/4/7. Every day, I'm thinking of who will overtake me, who might outwit me, who are my competitor, my other like rival brands, who are trying to outwit me and stuff like that. And I mean, this is an ongoing battle, different stage of business have different challenges. When you think that 26 outlets already, I should be shaking my leg. In fact, the challenges are more and more. So I think that is something else that we can share. I mean, if there's someone that has another question that they want to ask, we can go first. Yeah.
We're going to come to that later. In fact, that's going to be my next question. But guys, I mean, for those of you who are watching this, I mean, in and out, we have about 15, 16 of you who are watching this all the time. So if you guys agree with what we've been talking about so far, and you guys agree that commitment is key, just type commit down in the comment section. Let us know that you are here. By the way, say hi so that we can interact with you live. Like we have saw Seb, we have saw Gina, we see Brian, Xavier, and hi Tas, right? Hui Ling was also here, right? To all these people that was here before, just say hi, let us know that you are here. And if you have any questions, type in the comment section, let us know. Spam the love and like button so that we can see the things flying up, because it makes us feel good, right? And also share this out so that more people can enjoy this very good sharing by Jason as well. Okay. So I want to move on a little bit more to the next question that I wanted to talk about. And sorry, before that, right, I just wanted to touch on something. Just now you said something about, I think it reminds me of a meme, right? A meme that recently people keep sharing, like, who wants change? Then everybody raise up their hand. Or everybody wants change, right? Everybody, I want change, I want to be successful. But who wants to change? Then everybody keep their hands down. But they don't realize that the first thing that need to change is ourselves, is us, right? If you want to be able to really succeed, you need commitment. So who wants commitment? Yeah, everybody wants commitment. Then who wants to commit? No, nobody wants to commit really. So I think that's really the kind of mindset that we need to start churning around, and we get around it, guys. That's as straight up as it is. Okay, so while we're waiting for people who potentially have questions that they want to ask, right? Bro, I just want to ask you the next thing. You mentioned just now earlier that as your business grew, you started to face more and more different challenges along the way. So is it okay that you share with us perhaps 2 or three of the biggest challenges that you have come and experienced so far, and how do you overcome them? Perhaps from when you were starting out, then when you are growing, and to a stage where now you are looking to stabilize the business, kind of thing. Like, which stage?
Yeah, yeah. So, once one of my wise mentor always taught me that, there are always like challenges that when you're trying to create wealth, and then there are challenges in keeping wealth as well. And then when you talk about keeping wealth, it's not just about keeping business wealth. It's also about keeping your other forms of wealth, even your family. You don't want to get things too egoistic, and then when people get rich, they will tend to overspend, and then for guys they womanize and stuff like that. So when I was I really finally kind of understood that there's a different set of challenges. Once you grow a bit bigger, right, then you are in more prominent eyes of your bigger rivals, and then there are a lot of very funny things. I can only say I suspect only that there's the work of our rivals. So when we were growing, it was very, very, how to say, we were very tunnel focused. We just wanted to, we had a model, we replicate, and then it was all about just putting in the label there and then. And then we didn't really have to bother about anything at the site that tried to attack us. So we just opened one outlet, two outlet. And anyway, because it's like we were still small then, and then nobody really paid attention to us. And then once you are a little bit bigger, and then there were a new set of challenges. We also realized that there were more feedback coming in. There were a lot of good, and then there was also increase of some negative feedback, about how we can improve, and then we realized the need for customer service and the PR kind of a work. We need to create capacity just for that, to answer queries and then to handle negative experiences, and then to handle delivery orders, because we're getting more and more and more. And then I think the most important one was we're talking about rivals, right? So we realized that there are some form of like sabotage the people trying to meddle with your suppliers, and then a lot of poaching as well of manpower. So that's also some of the challenges that we are facing lah. So and then we had to also, thankfully we have a culture. That's something that we always try to. I would say the main thing, we call it Team Dynasty. So we very actively we engage our staff on the ground as well. So there were a lot of cases where our staff could tell us, this manager from XXX brand came to our outlet and took my number and tried to offer me a job, and then I believe and once when I got bigger, right, so we have also people that started to copy us. So that was also a big issue. So it was almost blatantly copying. So like the menu board our price point all this we can't trademark around it, we can't patent around it, but so be it. So I guess that's a form of flattery. It's that means I'm doing something good that people want to copy. So people was trying to push my staff, copy our so-called menu board and stuff like that. And there are even people who try to lowball us. I thankfully I have great business relationship partners with suppliers and as well with the big food court players Kopitiam, NTUC and stuff like that. So people are trying to find out who we are and try to find out where we are opening next. So of course, thankfully, they are supposed to be all this information is supposed to be kept confidential. So, but there are a lot of people who actively trying to find out what we are doing next. Yeah, and then there are also people who shamelessly trying to associate with us. So I do get suppliers calling me and say, hey, I'm actually a friend of Jason. He told me to call you. But luckily, my suppliers, we have very great relationship with our suppliers. So our suppliers call us and say, "Hey, do you know this guy? He said that he was introduced by you, and stuff like that." So I guess these people are hoping to get more information to what kind of ingredients I get, and also or trying to ride along, with the kind of preferential pricing that I'm getting lah. So all these new challenges that I have never faced before when I was in the growing stages. So and then we have also like I think this is quite an open thing lah. When your rivals maybe hire the kind of like Facebook bots and then write kind of negative remarks and stuff like that Yeah, I mean it's definitely, I mean, let's be open away lah. I mean it's business lah. Some people try to bring you down as well lah. So I always have to watch my back on that as well. I just completely being honest here. There are really people who are trying to bring you down, but I guess that's a good thing. That's because that means you're on top really. You're above them. That's why they're trying to bring you down. So I think the thing is that sometimes I also reflect about myself lah. Like should I put my time into countering what they are doing, or just focus on growing lah? So at the start when I was very, how to say, very annoyed and very irritated by all this so-called very disgraceful act and plays lah, that the rivals are trying to do. And then I realized that actually why am I wasting my time on them? Let me just focus on growing. So I thought that was actually much better. They can play catch up whatever they want, and I'm actually catching up with other people, the even bigger boys. I mean, although we are 20 plus outlets, but then there are bigger food groups out there with like 50 or 100 groups. I think they are my role models. I want to learn from them as well. So I think that changed from a more negative energy. Right, I try to stay on focus on how to grow my business and maintain it. I think maintaining is actually, the challenges are really much more complex. The amount of time I spend to building it and maintaining plus growing further is about the same amount of energy and time and the time. But now it's way more complex. Last time was just chong only. Get a new location, chong, open, and then that's all. Just like labor, talking to suppliers. But right now I gotta deal with all this side balls that's throwing at me. And I try to need to deflect them and go straight. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's very interesting sharing, and I think I want to thank on behalf of everyone that is watching this, as well as for people who may be watching the replay or on YouTube or anywhere else. I'd just like to thank Jason on behalf of everybody for sharing all these struggles, because I think it's not easy that we hear from someone who is actually doing it right now, that is sharing all this information with us. And I just like to say that those are very interesting perspectives, but I think there are two recurring themes that I've been hearing from how you actually handled all these challenges. Number one is, don't focus on the negative, but focus on growing. Just focus on the things that are important about your growth, and ignore the naysayers, ignore the people who are trying to tear you down, but just focus on what you can do to grow. And and there you have it. You don't even need to be even thinking about those. You believe in abundance, just keep growing, and let those people who don't believe in it play catch up, right? You don't need to bother about them. And that's the first thing that I really got. So I think abundance is really the mind of abundance, and just focusing on your own growth. That's really the first thing I took away. And the other thing that I've been hearing recurringly from you is about having good relationships, having great relationships, not only with your partners, right? Both your business partner and your life partners, by the way, right? Always say the good things, because I know the wife might be watching this, right? The wives might be watching this, so we got to say the right things. So great relationship with the partners, but also great relationship with the staff, great relationship with the suppliers, great relationship all around. And that is how you actually get people to stand up for you, to support you, regardless of what other people are saying. And I think this is something that we probably in our blood a little bit also. Last time when we are on ship, relationship is very, very key. I'm not the best person at it. I mean, I openly admit it. But I think you have always been a very great person at maintaining relationships. So I guess one of the best thing that I could help anyone who is watching this right now is to ask you this. what is the way? How do you maintain your relationship? There's so many different kind of relationship that you need to maintain, right? How do you do it? How do you come to a level where you are able to do it so well?
Well, I think ultimately some of the so-called fundamentals lah. I think me and you, we both came from the Navy, right? So in a way when we were being taught as part of officership, is how to treat our crew lah. I think something that I've learned since the Navy as well is to treat people with sincerity lah. So I when I deal with my own staff, right? So I think it's just really just be genuine and just be sincere lah. So I also don't like to hide stuff with them if I think they need to work harder to get the pay raise or the bonus, right? I would tell them lah openly, So I also don't like the kind. I came from I worked for somebody before as well, right? So we're always wondering how will boss think of me and stuff like that. So I also tend to take a very objective approach to handling say my stuff. So some staff will complain, staff A will complain to me about staff B, but actually for me, I like to give second chances and I take different bearings. So if there's only one person that complain, I usually, if the incident is not very it's not very damaging, I wouldn't go and confront the staff B lah. If A and C there are more than one person that have the same kind of feedback or complaint, I will openly tell B lah. Not like only when come to the bonus stage or the so-called the ranking stage then I come and people has been saying bad things about you. I'll tell them openly that where to improve and stuff like that. And we take very, how do you say, we want to also show a lot of appreciation to our staff. So we really take the effort to also know their birthdays. I think that is one of the very basic things that we are trying to do. Just today only, I'm just before this call, I was sending birthday cake to my chef at the Kepo as well. So I think just to be sincere and genuine to them lah. So last time is back to the previous question, right, about one of the challenges, right? When people try to approach my staff, so I tend to be when I was focusing on the negative stuff, then during my interaction with them, I spent a lot of time going down to talk to all my staff on that. I realized that I have changed. So I start to be more defensive. I try to tell, hey, we have been doing this and this for you, you should appreciate the company more and stuff like that. So I realized that wasn't the way to go lah. And then I sensed that my staff started to look at me very differently. So then that was when I also realized that this negative energy has transpired down, So I realized that the culture has been there, and that has brought us to where we are. So I should just maintain on my approach to my staff, just be genuine, be sincere. If you really want to care for them, you care for them. Now don't have to see the agenda. Hey, if other people push you, you go away. I'm watching you. Like that. So I think to staff, just be genuine and be sincere lah. But I think to business partners, maintaining. That's a different level already lah. I think maintaining great business relationship. I think we all agree here, as business owners, you and me. It's a key to your success lah. If your business partner trust you, like for me, it's my suppliers and stuff like that lah, and they trust you, they continue supplying to you. There are many forms to prove it lah. Sometimes we are not friends, but we are professional, and we want to portray as such lah. So sometimes there's also to say that we are like buddy with the supplier. That's also a lie lah. But there are a lot of things that I show to my supplier that I'm a trustworthy client. Like for example, I tell them by this date I'll pay up. I will not owe any money. So that's why I chase my finance team very hard. Just like on the 7th, pay staff salary, we must get it done. We burn midnight oil. By this date, we must pay suppliers. We must get it done. We cannot backlog, right? So and then we also as we grow, the more outlets, then the suppliers also tend to, have vested interest in you lah. So it's an ongoing process, and I think we always have vested interest in one another lah. I mean, let's be very honest lah, So I also not very sure if like one day suddenly I need a lot of backing from them, they will really help me now. But at least right now, the way I see it is like at least they want to keep me as ongoing client lah, and because we are a big client to my suppliers, so that's why I mean, for them to come and tell me, right? I told you, right? There are people who are trying to jojo my suppliers and stuff like that. So when they actually took the effort to come and tell me, hey, there are these people who are trying to associate to you, trying to find out more about you. Do you know them? So I felt very happy that actually we have reached a kind of level of understanding that they value us. So I think we constantly meet them for business lunch and stuff like that. And what I will do is I will share with them what's my vision, and I will share with them my professionalism about how I will adhere to like certain payments, and I share with them what are my plans for expansion. So in hope that they will support us. So and stuff like that, and that has really worked out pretty well lah. So they know that we are a valued client, and then we have integrity. I think that's the one of the main issue as well. We have integrity as a supporting business partner, and then they even in the COVID case, right? What we have is that actually like a lot of people don't know. Not in SMB line, they don't know. We have actually a lot of shortages here and there because Malaysia, the borders are all closed, right? So we had a lot of certain items that were very low in stock, and then we were very happy that actually the suppliers who keep for us first, So and then they could also jack up the price, but they did not, But I mean, some tried to lah, but we have to also professionally reason out with them and say, look, this might be temporary. If you jack up, it's like a landlord tenant thing. If you jack up now, all along we have been taking from you. We have never been late. We have been paying you. I mean, and whatever your profit margins is, and you jack up now to this high, and then do you think in the future I will continue to take from you when COVID is over and everything has normalized back? So sometimes it takes this kind of dance lah. So to the staff is a different thing. To the sideway business partners, it's a different challenge as well. I mean, let's be frank lah. There's no such thing that people throw free goodies at you one. You must bring value to me. I must bring value to you, right? So if you give me a good price now, you support me at hard times, and I have taken from you for so long already. Once this is over, I will only continue to grow. If you jack up your price now, you hit my survivability. I can't survive. I close down shop. You also lose one, right? So I think sometimes if they don't see it, I will paint it nicely to them as well lah. So it's a bit of this kind of dance lah.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, right? Like Eng Peng just said, like Eng Peng manages a large team of advisors as well, very successful individual as well, and it's about negotiating skills. But I like the way that Jason has really put it across, and I feel that when you speak to Jason, I think the amazing thing is that we get to see the consistency in the way that you're portraying yourself, be it in terms of business, be it in terms of relationship, be it in terms of how you look at partners, how you look at a business opportunity, right? We talked about it earlier, right? You mentioned a few things. Number one is we need to have trust, right? And for the past few minutes, we have been talking about that. It's about that trust, about the integrity, how you build up that trust over time with them, how you're really able to communicate all these things together with all these people, right? Hey, you just got a new fan. you're right?
Thanks, T.
Yeah. So actually, I always joke like the time I first got to know T, I like to call him Teh Peng. Right. So trust is one thing, but then again, I think the other part of it is you're just very open, right? It's open communication. Come on, let's just talk about it openly. Let's communicate. Let's understand each other's viewpoint, and let's reason it out, right? We don't need to hide from each other and give nonsensical reasons just to get the point across. Let's have open communication. Let's talk to it like professionals, and let's find a resolution to it. Right? You see, consistency throughout what Jason has been doing in the way he views his businesses, in the way he treats his staff, in the way he treats suppliers. And I think that to us, ladies and gentlemen, for those of us who are watching this right now, is super, super valuable. And that I think as a business owner, that is something that I really want to take away and learn from my good friend here, Jason, right? So if you guys agree with me, or you all feel that whatever Jason has been sharing so far has been absolutely amazing, right? Can I just type consistency or consistent in the comment section and just spam the love and like button and share this out, please, guys. And by the way, so bro, if you have not realized, right, we've been talking for an hour already. Just now you're still asking me 1 hour can or not. 1 hour already.
1 hour already.
Yeah, 1 hour already.
Right. Okay, so is it time for beer? Sorry.
We don't have it. The beer haven't come yet, but got plain water. But the thing is this, right? I mean, we are still not done yet. But I know that because Jason is really very busy, and I don't want to hold Jason up for too long. He has his 2 early daughters that he needs to rush back home, right? To look at before they sleep, right? Because again, for those of you who are just tuning in or you're not aware, Jason intentionally and purposefully went to his office just to do this live for everybody so that he can share his knowledge and expertise with everyone. So if you're not yet thank him, please thank him in the comment section. Just type thank Jason, spam the love and like button, share this out, because he did this specially for all of us, and I'm very, very grateful. So bro, the other thing that I wanted to ask you this, right? I think when you start up your business, right, did you even imagine that it could grow to where it is today? And moving forward, do you have a vision on how your business will be like in, say, in 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? I don't know. What's your vision like? Is part of long-term vision and planning important in how you have grown your business?
Definitely lah. I think when to your question, when you said that, did I see myself growing to this stage? Yes, that's for sure. From at the very start, when we started Thai Dynasty, we were very determined to be to open many outlets lah. So of course we were hoping that things go well, our food is good and stuff like that. I mean, before we can continue to scale, we had a model. We knew how to do it. We knew which location to go to, our suppliers, and how to leverage. But it's just about whether people will like our food lah. We have a very authentic approach. Is that most people eat Thai food, right? But actually, a lot of Singaporeans love Thai food, right? But they do not know that actually behind doors is all other people making it lah. So for me, I like the food court model actually because people can see the people who are cooking. The store is so small only, and then in the coffee shop, I like the kind of, so they shout in Thai. They communicate in Thai. But in a restaurant, you don't see the back kitchen, right? It's actually might be a Chinese, might be an Indian cooking, and in most restaurants it's like that. You don't see. So I wanted to be authentic. So I was hoping that the authentic Thai thing would really catch on, and thank God it did lah. So right from the very start, we really had a vision, and we had a very strong self-belief that we can do it. So and thankfully our target audience liked it, and then brought in the revenue, and then we could scale lah. So definitely, before anybody would try to enter a business, having considered your finances and everything, right, you gotta have a very strong self belief before you really want to do anything. And a vision is important, and a vision can be just a vision again is like the thing that I shared earlier. It can be an idea, but it's a broad idea, But it's about, you have a vision, but you got to lay out the strategy and the execution. I cannot emphasize more about that. A vision to me is good. Every leader should have it, but you cannot be an empty nutshell. I met a lot of potential business partners or collaboration, great vision. They want to get there, you know. They want to be big. They want to be this and that. They want to be, you know, very unique business, very fun, very good model. But how to get there? So we wanted to open 20, 30 stores. We want to be everywhere in Singapore. But we dive into developing a plan to go and do it. And then so that was us then, because also just nice. I mentioned before, right? We had a failed F&B business with my partner. That was how I established trust with him. That hey, we've been through this shit together already. And then actually we know how to do this business, and now we know how to do it better. So we strategize a plan. We have a target, which is the the vision. We have a very strong purpose of why to do it. You know, we both are entrepreneurs. We want to succeed, and then we lay out a plan, at least a plan. It might not be a detailed plan, but as long as you go along, you fill in the meat. But at least you have a plan, right? You cannot just have a head, you know, and then the head, and then you with no backbone, it gets you nowhere. So if you're talking about the future plans, of course we are right now for me, we are just looking at definitely trying to diversify further. For F&B, we actually newly launched our nasi lemak, our Thai style nasi lemak. It's something new. I like to believe it's first in Singapore, and it's going to be launched very, very soon. So we're trying to, like, again, we use something that we are very familiar. So we have a very strong Thai food background already, right? So that's how we develop into Thai nasi lemak, and then we are also trying to see if we want to go into the more beverage sector, beverage only. I shouldn't I won't review much, but I think you all can guess. So we're trying to go into the beverage only sector now as well, and for other businesses, well, right now I think my philosophy is quite consistent now. We have the real estate, we have the IT solutions, we have the finance, right? But we are not quite deep yet, but we will develop. We want to be deeper into the expertise first, before we expand out to other businesses, So our focus will be trying to acquire more and more F&B owners, business owners to work with us and to try to explore our new program. We hope that it can really help you. So we are also trying to, currently our first batch of pioneers of clients, we are kind of like, giving very good discount. So we're just trying out. But so far the feedback is pretty good. So we will definitely, if this brings value, and then we will monetize it, we will sell it higher, and we offer our services to other people. So we are trying to do that as well. So that is probably our next 2 to 3 years plan. And we also we do have a very large plan, but right now, because that is too sensitive. So we are trying to go. We're trying to go bigger, So we are now at the food court kind of coffee shop level, right? So you just think bigger, You will know naturally what we will climb up to, So that's our 5 years to 10 years kind of plan. We are looking around already to really acquire such an asset. So if you can guess it, you guess it. So if you cannot, I'm so sorry. I don't know to answer, man. After this call.
Okay, cannot. No, it's okay. If you can't share, it's all right. I don't want later, right? On my Facebook, I get some husky coming and chase after me, right? So I just right. We understand what we are talking about, right? So
my partner's a big dog, so yeah.
Okay, guys, I think what Jason has shared earlier is also very important. I think having that vision is important. Like, he knew where he wanted to be, but having that vision alone, I think, like what Jason mentioned, is not the only ingredient that is required, right? You have the vision, but you still need the plan to back you up. If you have no plan to achieve that vision, then you're not going to get anywhere. So I think that's really what Jason was talking about. You have a vision, right? But then you need to start developing the plan to move towards that. And by the way, Jason also shared another thing, right? The plan don't have to be perfect. You have a rough plan, you execute it, and you tweak it, optimize it along the way. Like we have been saying over and over again on this channel, on our shows. execution is key, right? You can have the best plan, you have the best knowledge ever, but if you don't execute, you don't do it, nothing is ever gonna freaking happen for you, man. It's just like who was the but Muhammad Ali said this, right? Everybody has a plan, right? But the plan gets thrown out the moment the first punch comes in, man. You get punched in the teeth, the plan is gone, right? So we're not saying that don't have a plan, but you need to have it roughly already, execute it, and then you need to work on it, optimize it, and then we move towards perfection. Don't aim for perfection from the get-go, but strive for implementation, strive for execution, and then we progress towards perfection. I think that's really what we are talking about earlier as well. Okay, so bro, I mean, okay, it's getting late already. I mean, it's already 9:12. You only wanted to do this for an hour, but I really kept you for beyond that. So guys, I don't want to keep Jason for too long as well, because like I said, I want him to go back to his two beautiful daughters, right? Victoria and Olivia. And because the wife is also probably watching this, so I make sure I say the right thing so that next time I can still go and have beer with him. So before we're gonna end this, right? I know that recently, yourself and your business partner Ian and a few of you guys, you all actually came up with an amazing initiative where you guys are actually helping people with a lower income kind of thing. And I think that is a very good cause. That is something that is amazing that you are doing. So I would like you to spend a few minutes to share a little bit more about that. Is that okay? And how can people possibly support you on that as well?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, this one is really back to the. I mean, again, thankful for partners that are very aligned lah. So we always wanted to do something to give back to the society lah. So actually, and I mean, thankfully my partners were all very generous. I think before I get to that initiative, actually we've done many small little things like we correct. I was trying to think about that. Okay, we not polar bear, koala, the koala bear. So there was a bushfire, and then my partner was quite random lah. Just said, hey, want to help now? Okay lah. And then I went to and I suddenly just clicked this adopt koala bear. So we adopted two lor. And so the good news was that I think in February they sent us an email and said the two koalas have recovered lah. So I think we donated a few $100 actively actually, because we have we know the Thai culture very very well lah, but through our staff lah, and we realized that a lot of them came here to really strive hard for a living, and poverty is a very real thing there lah. So actually we in our group for Thai Dynasty we actually have actively sponsored 10 Thai children for almost close to a year lah. So we sponsored their education, their medical fee. So we pay a fixed sum, but whatever per kid is, I think it's about 40 or 50 USD a month per kid. But if they need more, they will email us lah. Okay, so back to the initiative that you said. Yeah, so we just launched it. So it was one of my other business partners as well. If you recall, there was this viral thing about this guy who went to talk to this auntie on the MRT. Then was on the way to Sentosa, I think. And then this auntie suku a lot of things to this guy about how low income and stuff like that. And actually, we know that the difficulties that the cleaners are going through all along, because we are working so close with them. We are in food courts and coffee shops, so we do know, and then we know that their working hours are also being cut, because a lot of stores a lot of F&Bs closed down unfortunately, so they don't need so much cleaners. So some of them, they are being forced to work in shorter shifts, so they got lesser money. And I mean, their income are already quite low at the start. So with this COVID, it got even worse. And so what we did was my partner did some CSI just to make sure that I mean, he went to do some investigation. So it was really true. On the ground, the aunties were all telling us that they have been working shorter now, and then we have severely hammered their income. So we thought long and hard about this, and my business partner just suggested this lah. I mean, we are really quite one of the fortunate F&B groups around that are still doing decently well lah. so I think it's about time we give back to the society lah. And then these uncles and aunties that work so closely with us, we know them, and then our staff know them, work very closely with them. So and I think this has been also active debate in as a society, and how the government can do to it. I mean, during the election, they also talk about the minimum wage model, the progressive wage model. But I will reserve my comments on those models. So we wanted to see a change, and we knew we could directly do a change lah. So we we had it. So we just go ahead and do what we can. So we leave it to all the scholars and all the mighty people up there to go and solve their salary issues. So what we can do is to offset their burden. So I think since we are in the food business and they're working there with us, they need to eat, right? So we just sponsor them. We will sponsor their meals. So actually amongst our outlets, about 20 plus places around Singapore, right? Each of the coffee shops have about it depends on how big the coffee shop is, about 5 to 15 cleaners. So we are sponsoring them meals. We're trying to we issue them food vouchers so that they can claim, and then we can also account for it, and also know how much we are spending. So we knew that it's going to be a big dent to our pockets, but I think it's a calling lah. We just like heck it lah, let's just do it. And then I think this is one of the biggest move that we have done it together. Previously, we were also in Channel 8 during the COVID days. We were hiring a lot of the kind of people who got retrenched and Grab drivers. We also had thanks to a friend called Brian who also introduced a group of deaf Grab drivers. So we actually managed to hire quite a lot of drivers. We got about 20 or 30 of them in our pool. So to help us do deliveries. Actually, we do not need all these drivers, but we wanted to really help back. So literally, like these drivers as well, we did not, how do you say, we pay them a higher rate than the actual Grab drivers for the commission. And we end up, our margins is extremely thin. But unfortunately, I mean, just to share something again, I like to be a realist. That in the end, when we help these people, some of them, when the pandemic is a bit recovering, and they are, when the CV got lifted and stuff like that, then you can see like some of the drivers, they start to hack our orders with it. So well, I guess this is when you do something good, you try to. It's just a one way lah. If they don't reciprocate, they are not grateful, so be it. So we just hope that all these cleaners that we're trying to help, at least they see that what we are trying to do. But the main thing is that we are trying to also lead by example. We know that a lot of bigger food groups, they can also do the same. So we're trying to hopefully people can also follow us and then to make the life of these people a bit better.
Yeah.
Amazing. Sorry again.
I think it's great, right? Because I think people need to know that the kind of good stuff that you have been doing. By the way, guys, this is not like a sponsored placement or anything like this. Okay, it's really because I am a friend of Jason, and I know the good work that they have been doing, and I really wanted to be able to share this with anyone who may be watching this, so that we know that actually there are people on the ground doing their best to support the group that actually needs some form of support as well, right? Be it locally or overseas, right? We are doing what we can to help out these people. And like what Jason was saying, some people after the situation pick up, they don't care about them anymore, right? But to Jason and his company and his group is that honestly, if you are doing this kind of work, right, I think we do it. We don't expect anything in return. We are doing it because we want to, because we would like to help. We don't expect anything else in return. And I think that's really the basis of doing charity, the basis of being kind, the basis of being generous. And that is why I think Jason is so amazing. And like our guest last week as well, where we had Jingyi on the show, where she actually employed person with disability in her company to help them, to give them a living, to help them them as well. So there are really many people in our society that are doing what we can to help people, and I just like to, through my platform, through my channel, through my limited sphere of influence, to share what these people are doing, and so that all of us can aspire to improve the life of people around us. That's really what I'm doing here. So bro, I mean, really, if I think that's an amazing initiative that you are doing, and I hope really many of the bigger groups will take your lead and also do that as well. But if anyone who is watching this today, is there a way that they might be able to contribute or to also, I don't know, sponsor some meals or participate in this initiative? Is there a way to do that?
So actually, what we did is, we really just want to promote kindness lah, and the awareness that this group of uncle aunties who were our seniors, the pioneers lah, the pioneer generation the life is not very very rosy. So we really want to just push the awareness for this and actually trying to promote kindness. I mean, of course, some people throw shit at us and say, hey, you're just doing trying to promote your brand and everything. I mean, that's also, it's also a small factor lah. But that is not the key thing. We're trying to promote, really, to create awareness that this kind of people exist. So back to your point of how people can contribute, right? We talked long and hard about this. We wanted to extend it to people, but I can tell you, given what Singaporeans are like and the keyboard warriors are like, then we'll come to the issue of, your crowdfunding lah, are my money going directly to the cleaners lah, and stuff like that lah. Wow, I don't want to deal with all this. So that's why I want to be very focused. So we want to just help directly to them. So there are some friends private friends who message me who say they really want to help. So we are considering lah. We definitely going to consider people who know us, and then they know that we are trustworthy, and then we are credible, and then when they pass us the money to help, because they know that we are taking from our own profits to go and feed the cleaners. So they want to do a part. I say, hey bro, no, let me contribute. Let me maybe sponsor the meal of one cleaner over 1 month. So I'm very heartened that actually a lot of friends came to me and then want to sponsor lah. So I told them, say, we don't want that now, but we will consider lah, and then we see. But definitely not to the public, because it's going to have a lot of accountability issues, So we didn't want to get there because I can just imagine what will people throw different kind of shit Are they trying to gain publicity and then earn some money as well, cover their costs and stuff like that. So let's be real about it. So we wanted to just be very direct and straightforward in what we want to achieve So it's there are even in our food industry trade doing this there's also some kind of backlash But then this is long story for another day. So, but then we will just go ahead and do what we can, and thankfully for great business partners like NTUC, Kopitiam, Kofu, and stuff like that, they are very supportive. And the cleaners are a third-party cleaning company, so they actually supported us and talk to them to see whether if we are okay to sponsor their cleaners some meals, and we issue vouchers. There are some process to go on So thankfully they are all very supportive of our initiative So and we think that it is much easier for us to just use our own money to go and sponsor than to get other people. But if there are people who are really keen, we'll think of some other initiative. But actually, if you're just keen to help, just be nice to the uncle or auntie, say hi to the cleaner. Really, I think just saying hello, auntie, you might brighten up their day. You might look like his or her son. Then just say hello, auntie. Be nice to them. Be kind to them. In fact, clean up your own mess at your table. It will help greatly. And if you really want to donate, just donate directly to the uncle auntie. I don't think as me or my company needs to develop something for you to take your money and stuff like that. So it's going to be very complicated.
I see. So guys, really, I just asked because I didn't know whether there was anything involved, but I think Jason has made his point very clear. But I think what the message we are driving across is that I think every one of us can and should play a part in the way we can contribute back to society. And like what Jason mentioned, even a simple smile and hello at the food court, right, makes a lot of difference. And I remember because I used to study service as well, one of the things that we learn all the time is that once we are able to know the person's name, we greet that him or her person by name, right? We just smile. That's why every time you go into the hotel, the moment you're walking in front of the front desk, you realize that the first greeting is always, "Good morning, sir. Can I have your passport?" And the moment they have your passport, they will say, "Good morning, Jason," or "Good morning, Mr. Pei." They immediately address you. And just by that simple gesture, it changes the whole mood, it changes the whole outlook for the whole day. And you can do that to anyone around you, not just to the cleaners, to anyone you meet, to the service providers, to your bus drivers, to your Grab drivers, to your, I don't know, anyone that might be serving you or helping you out in any way. I think a simple act of kindness or being gracious is really the kind of message that we want to drive across. But of course, unfortunately, at this point in time, we are unable to take part in his amazing initiative that Jason has had. But I think all of us could still play a part in our own small little ways, right? So guys, for those of you who are still watching this, if you have any question at all, please type in the comment session right now because it's really getting late already. I'm going to let Jason go off very, very shortly. So if you have any last question that you want to ask, this is the time to do it before I have to let him go, okay? So type in the comment section if you have any questions, spam the love highlight button. If you have not shared this video out yet, do share it right out immediately. Okay, so bro, in case got any question come, right, we will wait a few minutes for them, right? But then I'm going to ask my ending question, right? Normally I have this ending question, right? So the criteria quite strict one, so you cannot give more than one, okay? So the question is, if an aspiring entrepreneur come up to you today and ask you for a piece of advice, so a piece of advice, one only, you can only give one advice, no more. Right? What would that advice be? Cannot play cheat, cannot like say one advice and then you elaborate for the next 10, 15 minutes. Just one piece of advice, maybe I let you elaborate for 2 minutes like that. But what would that be?
Just do it.
Okay.
That's all. Just do it. Even if you fail, it's a learning journey. Just do it.
Short.
If you have an idea, just do it. If you fail, then you think of something else and just do it again. Then you learn. Yeah, so I guess just by doing it, the process of learning, relearning, or and learning more new things and learning from your failures. I think just do it. I think a lot because you said aspiring entrepreneur, right? Not an entrepreneur yet, right? Yeah, so aspiring entrepreneur, just do it. That's the biggest hurdle that most people have not even stepped onto to create their own business. It's the leap of faith, Just do it. Then you understand. If not, it's so tough to explain the whole entrepreneur journey. You just do it. You understand. You'll cry. You'll shed blood.
You'll lose some money here and there, definitely, I think. But
you should lose money one, think it through, and then you just do it. Have a plan, It's really a mentor who taught me that also. Just do it, Jason. Just do it. Okay.
Oh yeah, and
the wisdom. It's a wisdom.
Yeah. So guys, that was the one piece of advice that Jason have. Just do it, right? Just do it. I remember a quote as well that they say, right? You judge a successful entrepreneur, yes, by a degree amount of the success, but the number of failures that he has behind him before he even achieved to that point of success is really what brought him there. So guys, if you are trying to be an entrepreneur, listen to Mr. Jason Pei. #when I grow up, I want to be like Jason, right? So just do it. All right, do it.
Hey, seriously, just do it, man. Yeah.
Okay, so
I drove Grab, so just do it.
I drove as well. I still have that private I still have that license thing on my windscreen. So guys, I think this has been an amazing interview. We have spoke for 1.5 hours already, right? 1.5 hours, and I believe if we could continue talking on, and especially if both of us are holding a pint of Guinness right now, I'm telling you we'll be able to talk for the next 2 to 3 hours. But
I will say a lot of nonsense, man.
But that's another conversation for another day. But it has been an amazing session tonight. If you have not yet followed me on on social media, just look for me on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube at Hey Gavin Sim. Just hit a follow, share a like, look at the videos, and it'll be amazing. And if you'd like to actually follow Jason on Facebook, Jason, will you be okay for them to follow you? Or
yeah. I'm fine.
I
Yeah.
can direct them to Thai Dynasty instead.
Yeah, can.
Okay, so hold on. Follow Thai Dynasty here. Follow Thai Dynasty here. Right, so posted the comment. So guys, you all can actually head over to Thai Dynasty Facebook, follow them, and the food is amazing, by the way. I love the tom yum soup. If you guys haven't drank it, you all should go and drink the tom yum soup. That's my favorite out of everything. But definitely go there. And they have many outlets now. In the past, there's only a few outlets, but right now they have so many different outlets, and they have a whole chain of different F&B as well. Do support my dear friend here. Follow him on Facebook, follow him on Instagram, follow him. Go visit him. In fact, don't just follow him. For him, please go to the food court and buy the food. Okay, enjoy it so that you will become a true fan. All right. If not, I really want to thank again Jason for being on the show. For being a great fan over the years. It's been amazing, and I think I've seen the journey of how he became where he is today, and it's been an absolutely amazing journey. And I think that's filled with so much wisdom along his journey. Just like what you said earlier, the more failure you have, that's where you gain the experience, and that's where you gain the freedom. And on that topic, guys, if you are watching this right now, on Thursday night, I'm going to have the world's #1 wisdom coach, Vikas McCulley, on the show, where he'll be sharing with you guys a lot of wisdom nuggets as well on Thursday at 8 p.m. on this very, very channel, right? Vikas, the last video that he posted, where we have posted on him, have garnered so much good views. I think we have received hundreds of views from you guys just on the YouTube channel alone. So I know you guys want him to be on the show, and I managed to get him here on this coming Thursday at 8 p.m. So guys, you wouldn't want to miss the episode as well. If not, bro, final words before we show the outro and we end the whole live stream, right, guys? Any last words for Jason? Any last words for the guys?
Nothing much. Just do it.
That's an advice. Just do it, guys. So it's Gavin here, conversation with successful entrepreneur with Mr. Jason Pei. Have an amazing Tuesday night. It's been a wonderful session, and we will see you again on Thursday. Bye bye.